My name is Jorey. Welcome to my channel, Taitlin Studio. Today I'm going to tell you about who I am, how I got started on woodworking, and why I left my long-time pension-paid city job to become a full-time woodworker. I can say that it started when I was quite young. My parents were general contractors, so my dad would often have pieces of wood, nails, screws, so on and so forth around. So as young as 3-4 years old, I would be taking a hammer and nails and banging them into a piece of wood. And over the years, living in that environment, I was always exposed to renovations, construction, and so forth. So I built many things from skateboard ramps, bicycle ramps, up to helping my dad with building decks. So that was really the beginning of what got me into it. Over the years as an adult, I would do home renovations for myself, whether it was putting in new flooring, fixing baseboards, putting in new doors. So I always had a knack of creating that, doing that woodworking or construction. The sorts of influence that I had was, I was a very artistic person. I remember as being a child and drawing little pictures of army men or Transformers or G.I. Joes. That dates me a bit. But yeah, I was always creative, and in school I always took art as an option. And when I was in junior high, high school, I loved painting, drawing, and eventually I took private art lessons. And with those art lessons, that helped me create things. And that's something that's always been within me, is that creating something new and taking an idea, whether putting it on paper, putting it in a form of pottery or woodworking. It's always something that I've loved doing, and I think that really inspires me of who I am and what is that constant fuel that drives me forward, wanting to create new things and create beauty. In my late 30s that I really started to jump more into woodworking. For years I wanted to try woodworking, but I just never quite picked it up. And then finally what really pushed me was that I was moving to a new house, and rather than buying particle board, prefabricated, built as you need furniture, whether it was from IKEA or another store, I decided I want solid wood furniture. So I started to go into more of the high-end furniture places, and I was like, wow, that furniture is really expensive. I can do it. So that's what started me. I picked up a small table saw, a sander, and I just started working from there. Some of the early projects I made, well, actually my first real woodworking project was some cutting boards for Christmas for friends and family. And basically I just went to a local lumber store, picked up some pieces of maple, some walnut, and some cherry, and I made some cutting boards, and they were very simple and straightforward, but I learned a lot from those projects. I made some mistakes, but I think that's a part of developing your skills as a woodworker or a painter or anything that you do. And that really hooked into me, and I just absolutely loved it. And the people that received the gifts were really surprised that I spent the time to make them, and that there was something about making a gift for someone rather than just going to a store and buying it that really fueled my creativity and my enjoyment of this craft. After those small cutting boards, I started to make more cutting boards, and I started making coasters, pencil holders, and other small projects like that. And I decided I'm really enjoying this, so maybe I can make some money at it. So I signed up for a local farmer's market, and I opened up a booth, and I was really nervous getting into it, because here is my work that I put forward for other people to see, not just friends and family. And to me, that was a real test of my capabilities, being a very beginning woodworker. But It was great. I remember in that summer that I was at the farmer's market, I sold a lot of cutting boards, a lot of pencil holders, a lot of wine bottle holders, and there was so many projects that I sold. And I can tell you in that summer, I made hundreds of cutting boards. After making all those cutting boards, I really wanted to expand into larger pieces of furniture. I felt a lot of my basic skills I mastered, or at least I got a good grasp on, and I wanted to be more challenged rather than just making cutting boards. I know a lot of people love making them, and I just wanted more. So I started making smaller pieces of furniture, whether it was coffee tables, end tables, and one of my first large commissions was a very large dresser for someone who I worked with. Actually, it was a dresser and some end tables for night tables. And I was so proud of those results when I was finished, and I learned a lot making them. And while I wouldn't necessarily say it was a super profitable adventure in the sense of monetary reward, the skills and knowledge and pushing of myself really was the greatest value I received from those. And even back to this day, I still think back of those projects, and I'm so grateful that I took that challenge on. Currently, the types of woodworking I do now is much more of household furniture. So kitchen tables, dressers, bed frames, bookshelves, things like that. And I've even made some chessboards. I've made quite a few different types of checkers types boards and game boards, but for the most part I would say is I do large pieces of furniture, and also art is something that I've been exploring. So a lot of that will be a live edge art of a piece of wood, and then I'll do some epoxy pouring into that of different colors and tones. So it's really a marriage of woodworking and painting, which is something, again, from my childhood that I did. And I think it's a real interesting little niche area that I've focused on. And I'm really excited about sharing that with you. For me, woodworking is something that really lets me be at peace at who I am and where I've been in my life and where I'm going. When I really was diving into woodworking was after I separated from a former relationship with a wife of mine, and having that time of just working through a process, slowing down and thinking about things and just reflecting on who I was, really instilled something in me of that, bringing back that creativity when I was a child. And it's something that just drives me forward, and it keeps me centered and calm. And I think for a lot of us in this world, there's so many things to distract us, whether it's watching TV, playing a game on your phone, or whatever it is. I think taking the time to just slow down a little bit and create something, whether it's writing, whether it's painting, drawing, pottery, creating a YouTube page, whatever that is, I think creativity is something that's in all of us, and some of us need to foster it a little bit more than others. But if you ever have an urge to just paint, just go to your store, pick up a piece of paper and some pieces of paper and some paint, and just start painting. You might not be perfect the first time, but that's okay. You keep learning and moving forward. And I think that's something in my woodworking that I've really taken to it. I might make a mistake, but that's okay. I believe in failing forward, and I think everyone should. In the upcoming videos, I'm going to show you my woodworking projects, whether it's making a piece of furniture, an art piece. There's a lot of things that I believe I can share, and a lot of entertainment and knowledge I can share with people from a different perspective. There's a lot of amazing YouTube channels out there, and I think I can help add to that. And I look forward to you seeing my upcoming videos, and I'm looking forward for your feedback.